Previously on They See Me Rollin'.
This spider guy is going to destroy the world.
He pulls out an onyx. Take it with my thanks.
Jelly makes a mental note to give Coen a hug after all this is over.
Coen is a bit disconnected.
I'm here to help you escape from this giant spider palace.
The entire shop begins to warp and swirl into an ethereal wind around you. The classroom comes into focus for a moment, and you make out Belvedere.
Belvedere.
This room is enormous and extremely well lit. And in the center of this room, you see a long, rectangular pit filled with multicolored balls. At the far end of this pool, you see an elegantly dressed woman in a long white gown facing away from you. Last we spoke, you guys had walked into a room with a ball pit and a lady facing away from you in a white gown. And now, the woman in the white gown slowly turns to you, and she is a sight to behold. You've never seen anyone like her in your lives. Her jet black hair is pulled up into a bun in the back, with an ornate braid decorated with silver and platinum strands crowning her head. Her skin is a dark brown with gold undertones. She is tall and statuesque with perfect posture. She is, in a word, regal. But most peculiar of all, her ears are prominent. They are long and pointed like a drow, but she is definitely not a drow, who are modeled smaller with slightly stooped spines. I need you to roll a history check.
While you're doing that, Jelly's gonna roll to blush.
Roll to fall in love.
I didn't want to steal her bit.
You guys don't need to roll to fall in love or blush on this show. You can fall in love or blush as much as you want.
I got a 9, so I definitely blush.
You got a little bit of a blush going.
Right.
I got a 14. I say, hi. Well, nice to meet you.
I got a 0 for my history.
How do you get a 0?
I failed history so badly.
You have no clue who this person is or what kind of person this is.
Oh, I got a 14 too.
So, Skumk and Jelly, you recognize that she is an elf. They are related to the drow. However, they were thought to have either left Faerun or gone extinct. Some suspect that the drow were the only elves ever to exist, and that the ancient high elves were no more than a myth. But here she is in front of you, undeniably an elf.
What up?
Jelly steps forward awkwardly. It's just like tries to look cool and all casual.
Slick her hair down.
Yeah. I comb my hair back.
Is she on the other side of the ball pit?
She is on the other side of the ball pit, yes.
So, hey, hello. Hey, sailor. How you doing?
That's your opening gambit?
She acknowledges your presence, and really the presence of everyone, of all three of you, with the slightest of nods. And she says,
"What are you doing in my home?"
It was weird and bad outside, so we thought we'd come in here instead.
It's not that great I'm sorry. I didn't say that. Your home is wonderful. It was raining outside. Yeah, that's it. It was raining outside.
Your home is a giant spider that's destroying our city.
Pretty wild weather we're having lately, am I right?
Yeah.
Global warming.
She kind of scoffs, and she says,
It's deforestation, you know?
Who are you?
I'm glad you asked that. My name is Jelly. What's your name?
Don't you recognize your queen?
Who's queen?
Yes.
She tilts her head at you at that and kind of looks angry.
Yes. I just have very bad eyesight.
I need you guys to roll a perception check. Speaking of eyesight, all three of you actually notice that her hands are dripping with blood.
It's okay. We can work around this.
Hey, your hands are dripping with blood.
How far away is she?
So the pool is 100 feet long.
Oh, wow. Olympic-sized ball pit.
Yeah, and 40 feet wide.
I notice that her hands are bleeding, and I reach into my back and pull out some gauze and say, "Oh my gosh, don't worry, I'll help you out. I've got something for that." And I dive into the ball pit.
Help me with what?
Do you actually dive head first in the ball pit?
Yeah.
Okay, you kind of hit your head a little because it's only 3 feet deep. so you dive in, and what everyone else sees as your hands and head kind of hit the bottom, your legs get stuck up in the air and tail.
I get up realizing that it's only 3 feet and brush myself off and act like I meant to do that and begin to wade over to her with gauze in hand.
That looks fun.
And she looks at you and says,
What is that for?
You're bleeding? At least I hope you're bleeding. I hope that's your blood.
Rude.
she says,
It is not my blood.
I have some towels too. You probably don't want to walk around with blood on your hands.
When somebody is covered in blood, it's rude to ask whose it is.
She, at this point, looks around, and kind of a look of realization comes to her face, and she says,
This is not my home.
This is not
Is that my beautiful wife?
This is unfamiliar, and you certainly don't belong here.
and she fades away.
Aww.
God damn it, she was a ghost. I knew it.
I jump in the ball pit.
Okay, you jump in the ball pit. You find yourself completely covered.
Nice.
You can only see by sticking your head up, straight
It's
up.
so fun.
And at that, you can kind of only see the ceiling.
I wade over to Skumk and I put him on my shoulders.
Is it full of kids' pee like most ball pits are?
This is one of the perks of being only 3 feet tall.
Now,
You can really enjoy a ball pit.
what Coen kind of starts noticing now, not so much you two since you're already in, is that the ball pit is now expanding. And it's expanding to the entire room. Coen, you have a choice now. You can either jump in or fall in.
Well,
Coen, jump in. The water's fine.
actually, Cohen's going to fall in.
Skumk is trying to swim.
All right. Coen, you keep backing up, hoping that it'll stop. Eventually, you hit the wall, and you realize you're not going to be able to stand for much longer.
The floor disappears out from under me, and I run on the air for a second, and then fall into the pit. And a massive amount of balls are displaced by me.
Yeah.
As I land in it.
Yes, they are. I'm hoping that as you realize that you're going to fall, you do a cannonball.
It's more of a belly flop.
So now that you're in there, one thing you start noticing, and Jelly, you didn't notice this before when you were walking in there, but the floor now seems to be coated in some kind of viscous fluid.
Oh, that's definitely the kid's urine.
It is pee.
Urine is not viscous, guys. Come on.
Well,
it is if you
it's
don't clean
dried
the
out
ball
for a
pit for
while.
3 months.
Yeah.
No.
But-
Pee after a while crystallizes.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But just as you notice it, it suddenly seems to dry. And now some of the balls begin to pile up in the center, first forming a kind of misshapen pillar 15 feet high,
I have to fight a ball
with a
pit
sickening
monster.
green fluid holding them together in the center.
Oh no.
It then sprouts limbs,
Yep.
2 arms, and legs, and more balls attached to it until the pool is now only 1 foot in depth. Roll for initiative.
What?
Wait, Stan,
Yeah?
can I roll to try and snap myself out of it in case it's a dream?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll insight.
16.
You slap yourself really hard,
Roll a d4 for damage.
I'm not that strong. My strength is 10.
and you realize, no, this is definitely not a dream.
Well, fuck.
Oh, balls.
That's very good.
God damn it.
All right.
Good job.
Given that Jelly is the closest, the ball monster goes up to her and raises its ball fists and strikes.
It's made out of plastic. How much damage can it do?
Let's find out.
It rolled 2 18s, so 2 attacks Let's see, it's 2d6 damage each.
Damn.
All right, 11 damage total.
No, I'm fine.
All right, so you basically take all of its balls to your face.
I don't like... Jelly especially does not like this.
Yeah. I think we've really
No, the
turned
best
on
is
that
Ivan's
joke.
reaction. Ivan's just like, fuck that joke.
I don't like this anymore.
Yeah. Interesting.
Let's just take it completely literally.
I can't anymore. You ruined that for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Basically, what you feel like is you just got punched by a very large giant.
It's like getting punched by Squirrel Girl,
I guess.
covered in squirrels.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the squirrels are balls.
I missed that issue.
Next up, Coen. Oh, and by the way, the monster travels through here like it's no problem because it's liquid.
Sure.
But this is difficult terrain, so your movements are going to be halved.
Okay, how far away am I?
No, the monster would be 20 feet away from you.
When the monster moves, does it seem like it's made out of specific balls, or is it really made out of all of the balls?
It basically kind of sucks the balls to it.
Uh-huh.
So, like, it's kind of a rolling motion. The balls just kind of go up it like it's magnetic almost.
Uh-huh.
Coen is still shell-shocked, but he sees Jelly get smacked in the face with a bunch of balls, and it kind of snaps him out of it. And he goes, "Nobody touches my friends." I misty step through the balls to peer right in front of the monster and
Nice.
slam my sword down at it twice. 17 and 25.
Both of them are hits.
And one of those attacks, I channel Divine Smite.
Nice.
23 damage all up. I suddenly disappear from the edge of the room, reappear in the front of the monster, and I smash my sword down through its balls. And the cat's paw appears out from the ether and strikes it as well.
So Bast is still with you.
Yes.
You see that cat's paw, and it strikes, it knocks some of the balls off, but it just ends up kind of regenerating with more balls. But when you strike it, it just kind of, you hear this. It does seem like it was definitely injured in some capacity. Next up is Jelly.
I get up and dust myself off and look up at the ball monster and say, "Oh yeah, I got balls too." And I raise my hands in the air, and 6 tiny meteors form in a circle around me and begin to orbit me.
Nice.
And I point to the monster, and 2 of them shoot out and hit it and explode on impact. And I need it to make 2 dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Nat 20 and 17.
He takes half damage. Fuck that
Oh,
shit.
wow.
It takes 3 damage.
Fuck everything. Fuck.
That's
I
terrible.
quit this fucking
Oh,
Just to
no.
pass this on to our listening audience, Jelly rolled a 4d6 and got 3 1s and 1 3.
That's so sad.
And you see your balls fly at him, or it, and they hit him, and then they just lightly bounce off like wiffle balls. And it just you hear it go.
Chewbacca.
Next up is Skumk.
It's me. So it's difficult terrain. So that means I move half of my regular speed?
Yes.
Because my regular speed is 25.
Right, so you do 17.
That's not how maths works.
But it's not like you're that far from it.
Again, that's not how maths works.
Whatever.
I'm not going to say
it's 12 and a half.
17.5 feet. Good God.
I'm sorry. That's because.
Oh, wait, you're right. I'm an idiot.
That's because here in America. Listen, no, don't listen to
12
him because
feet.
this is America.
Here in America, we
math.
round up to the nearest 17.
You say math and I say maths, and your math is wrong.
Listen here. It's 2 totally different things here in America. I don't know what your maths equal, but in here it equals 17.
Shut the fuck up. All right.
I'll use spike growth and a 20-foot area of the ground underneath the monster becomes spiky vines, which snake up through the balls and puncture a bunch of them.
Okay, so you cast that spell. These things, do they grow up or they're just underneath on the ground?
They grow sort of between and through the different balls, I imagine, and it sort of snakes up through and snares it, kind of.
Okay, so what Coen and Jelly see are these little vines that kind of peek through on occasion, or just in random areas behind the monster and a little bit around the monster. Next up, the monster was seriously damaged by Coen and turns its attention to Coen.
Hell yeah.
And it strikes you with a 10 and an 8.
Its balls rebound off my shield, and I whack them back.
And you probably feel like your most professional self at this point. You know, that's like the coolest fucking dodging you have ever done.
Well, it's a really low bar, so sure.
All right, next up.
Okay, so it's my attack.
Yes, it is your turn.
I am going to hit the ball beast with my sword.
So you get a 12 and a 21. You get one hit.
So with my bonus action, my hit will be a Wrathful Smite. The Wrathful Smite deals 1d6 psychic damage, plus the creature must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me till the end of the spell.
He is immune to psychic abilities.
Oh, well.
Glad I didn't cast Phantasmal
Yeah,
Force on
glad I wasted that on him then. All right. I swing my sword once and miss, and my second attack strikes him fair in the middle of his whatever part of his bally regions I can get. And and emanating out from it is this wave of psychic energy that just kind of bounces off him.
Yeah, it just kind of goes through and out towards the walls, and it just kind of looks around a bit, just watching the wave go out. Next up is Jelly.
I stare daggers at this fucking monster, and I raise my middle finger in the air towards it, and from that finger shoots a lightning bolt, and I needed to make a dexterity saving throw.
It rolls a 22.
Yep, I'm going to do what I should have done last time and use my bend luck feature. I need it to roll again, Stan.
You got a luck feature?
Yeah, it's part of Wild Magic Sorcerer. I can bend luck to my will, but it's like a once-a-day thing.
Okay. It rolls an 18.
Well, that's still a miss.
Okay.
It's
So
fine.
take half damage of whatever you roll. 12 damage.
I'm going to spend a sorcery point and use Empowered Spell and re-roll that.
Okay.
Ooh.
40!
Ooh, 40 damage. It takes 20 damage now.
I think, if my math is correct, 20 is half of 40.
You want to double-check the maths on that, Jody? The math?
I think you're right.
All right, so even though you miss its dead center, you skim its side enough that it just knocks a whole bunch of those balls off of it, and it just kind of it shakes and trembles a bit. And in fact, it completely collapses, and now you just see a pile of balls in the center of the pool. However, you now feel the liquid at your feet again. No. Skumk, you feel the liquid kind of tendriling around your body, and it pulls you in. And suddenly, you're now coated in the fluid. You're unable to breathe naturally.
This is less pleasant than I imagined it would be.
You try to reach out, but the fluid is too thick and elastic, and the ball beast has reformed. And what you see, Jelly and Coen, is in the center of this ball beast is Skunk's little struggling body, unable to breathe.
Whoa.
It's going to need to take some damage from your vines.
Takes 4 damage.
In that
Nice.
process, it took 4 damage.
I'm a master of this game.
Now it is back to the monster.
Stan, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any part of Skumk that isn't covered in this fluid?
No.
Coen,
Yes.
you could maybe just like slice off a finger or something so there's a little bit exposed? I don't know, but if you could just get a little bit of that stuff off of him,
Just cut a little bit of skunk off.
you know, just a
give it
thin
just a-
fillet,
just-
you know?
A fillet.
Well, you're just awful. Okay, The beast now goes and attacks, goes to strike Coen with a 15 and a 12. Neither of them high enough to beat Cohen's AC.
It just bounces off my armor.
So Cohen, again, you definitely swing your shield and block its attacks. Again, just feeling like the most professional paladin ever.
Sure.
And it's your turn.
I'm going to
Just slaps
run.
off like the tip of his ear.
I'm going to run at the beast and try and dive at it and try and knock Skumk out of it.
Okay.
Didn't you watch Concussion with Will Smith? That's a terrible idea.
I don't understand what the dimensions of this creature are anymore. I thought I was sucked into the ground.
No, you're sucked into the fluid. The creature is balls and this fluid.
Okay, so the balls are around the fluid and I'm in the fluid?
Yes.
Cohen sees Skump trapped in the ball embiotic fluid or whatever it is, and Cohen just charges and says "Scump" and digs through the balls trying to dig Scump out.
All right, I need you to roll an attack roll. Let's make it a strength contest.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'll roll 2.
So I roll a 21.
I roll a 6.
Wonderful.
All right, you easily reach through the balls and reach out for Skunk, and you feel the fluid start getting around your hands. Now you're going to need to do another strength contest to see if you can pull Skunk out.
All right, 20.
All right, so that's 20, and he rolled a 10. You successfully pulled out Skunk.
Yay!
Good job. Very heroic, Cohen. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for that.
Yay! Inspiration.
I give Cohen a high five.
I hug Skump, but he's covered in all that fluid, and I'm just like, ooh.
It's only marginally worse than a normal hug.
It's only sentient kids pee.
He's actually not covered in that fluid. You pulled him out of it. The fluid, since it's a living fluid, it's off of him now.
Oh, that's nice. But it removed all of my natural juices, so I feel really pruny now. I need to moisturize.
Skunk actually smells better than he has ever smelled in a long time.
He only smells like an old ball pit.
It's the urea in the kids pee that's a cleaning agent.
Yeah, it's like bleach.
All right, Jelly, your turn.
Jelly just throws up.
I really hope sentient
All right, now it's Skump's turn.
kids pee
I
is the
feel like
name
that
of this
deserves a
episode.
point of inspiration.
All right, come on, Jelly.
I warn Cohen to get away from me.
Wait, it's Jelly's turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that she threw
I
up.
was joking. I'm sure Jelly did not take her turn throwing up.
Yeah, throwing up is a bonus action, I guess. free object interaction. You know? All right, so I have an idea. Stan, as quickly as possible, I run over to the pile of balls and fluid and whatever, and I just lightly touch it, and I simultaneously cast Blink and use the Metamagic Twin spell to cast Blink twice, and I teleport us both into the ethereal plane.
What?
Okay, do you touch a ball or do you touch the fluid?
I figured the fluid's what's controlling this, so I just poke the fluid.
So what you see is in the ethereal plane, you're in this ballroom, but there are no balls. You're inside of a swimming pool or a very large bath.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a ballroom.
God damn it.
Nope.
A ballroom.
No.
Shut the fuck
You're
up,
inside
Ivan.
what appears to be an extremely large bath. And
It's a castle. Wouldn't it have a ballroom?
Shut the fuck up, Ivan.
Oh.
You're covered in very warm water. It's actually quite comfortable. And you're in there with this like giant fluid that seems to be able to control itself. You know, it morphs in whatever shape it kind of wants to be. And right now it's not a humanoid shape because it doesn't have the thickness or the dimension of a human, but it does seem to have like some limbs. But where it's at the feet, it spreads out in like a large puddle. And what you guys see, not in the ethereal plane, is that all the balls just fall down in a pile again.
Hey, where'd Jelly go? That was weird.
That's one way to do it.
Can I try something really quickly? Just while we're in the ethereal plane, I want to say something.
Okay.
I look at the ball thing and I say, hey, we don't have to do this. You want to actually be friends instead?
We could just have a spa bath together.
That's the best way to defeat an enemy.
And you just hear it go. Brrr.
I'd even let you ride around in my skin. It'd be great.
What?
Ew.
Your skin?
Like a flesh suit?
Yeah, exactly like a
You
flesh
return
suit.
back to the material plane, and you guys see the beast without the balls for a second, and the balls then get summoned right up around it like magnets. And that's your turn. All right, Skumk.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Jelly takes out her some sweet shades she picked up while in town and puts them on.
I take a giant breath and butt my head right into the fluid. And then I yell really loud. And I'm casting Thunderwave as a level 3 spell. It's a 15-foot cube.
Okay, so you're going to injure Jelly and Coen.
I
Uh-huh.
can take it.
Everybody affected by the attack has to make a Constitution saving throw.
As a sorcerer, I'm proficient in that, so I'm fine.
All right, the monster gets a 19.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
What a
This
jerk.
thing.
Coen gets a 16. Jelly
Fuck
rolls
me.
an 8.
she's the
All right,
farthest
roll
away.
damage, Skunk.
If this kills me, I will never speak to you again. And I'm talking about in real life, Ivan.
What?
You do 8.
I rolled 4d8 damage, and I rolled an 8.
I just fucking brush it off like it's no big deal. And I point and laugh at Scum.
You do 4 damage to the thing.
Jelly is pushed back 10 feet.
I am laughing the whole way.
So I take 4 damage.
That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
So does the monster get pushed back?
My head is inside it, and no, it's not pushed back at all.
Okay.
I think it is pushed back enough so that it pushes my head out of it.
Okay.
I think you need to give me that one.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That would have been so cool.
Can I hear the sound that you made?
It's in the bubble, so it's...
Next up is the monster. Now it goes to attack Coen again. Actually, no, it's going to attack Skumk because Skunk's right there. Like, you stuck your face in it.
I
And
deserve
it felt
it.
violated. And it rolls an 11 and an 8. Do either of those hit you?
No.
Skunk, you do some really fantastic maneuvering inside these balls. Next up is Coen.
Okay. 24 and 18.
Both of those hit.
Take 11 damage. I drive my sword into its slimy, whatever gooey bits I can see.
You strike it, and it reacts by pulling back a bit, and it reaches out an arm, and the arm now resembles a cannon. And I need you all to roll a dexterity check.
Can it get another spike growth for that?
Yeah.
3 damage. So effective.
Coen, you rolled a 15. Jelly, you rolled a 19. And Skunk.
15.
So you guys only take half damage.
Yay.
What does it fire out of its cannon?
Balls.
Good.
That makes sense.
You each take 14 damage as it fires a giant ball buckshot out of this cylindrical arm that it temporarily formed.
But we all completely matrix those balls and manage to get half the damage.
Hell yeah. You only got hit by a few of the balls rather
Well,
than...
we do a total matrix, and we only get hit by half the balls. Remember that scene in The Matrix where he gets hit by half of the bullets?
Well, he did get hit by one bullet.
It's kind of the cross between the Matrix and every game of dodgeball you see in American movies where they gang up on the nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're collectively the nerd.
I think we are definitely the nerd.
We form Voltrons, we connect Voltron style, and form the nerd.
Become a super nerd. I become the glasses.
I'm
All
the,
right,
I'm
next.
the pocket protector.
Yes.
Next up is Jelly.
Okay, I get up from being hit with a bunch of balls, and I take out my sunglasses and put them
Dust
on.
yourself off.
Yep. And I make a finger gun, and I shoot a lightning bolt at it, and pray to God that this ends.
That's a little more positive than the middle finger.
You do a Wiggles sort of finger gun at them, and
13. Did it pass or no?
No!
for once.
33 damage.
You just see this lightning bolt cut right through it, and you see for a short period of time as the lightning is coursing through this thing, just this lit up string of fluid just spreading everywhere. And it's really exceptionally cool. It kind of does a little strobing effect.
It's like those globes you could buy at Spencer's.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like that. It's just like... And the beast then spreads out again inside the pool.
I blow the smoke off my finger and holster it.
And as soon as you do that, you start noticing the balls start spinning around. And you are now caught inside of a ball whirlpool. I need you all to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, man.
I cast fly on myself.
You cast fly and get out of the pool, so you are perfectly fine. All right, you rolled a 9.
I got a natural 20.
Ooh, nat 20.
I just levitate out of there, just like, say later, nerds.
And I levitate out of there with pure skill.
Skumk,
Skumk reaches enlightenment.
you jump out of the pool and grab onto Jelly and ride on her back.
Wonderful. I'm sure Jelly doesn't mind.
Runs along the top of the balls, crouching tiger, hidden dragon style. It looks so sick.
Coen, on the other hand,
Sinks like a lead balloon.
you get sucked into a current of balls and are pulled towards the center.
And I shout, balls!
The swirling then stops.
This is almost as good as my ape jokes.
And you are shot up into the air and you hit the ceiling.
Ooh.
I try and catch him as he comes down.
Oh no, that's not a good idea.
When you hit the ceiling, you take 4 damage.
I kind of splat on the ceiling for a moment, and then I just go, oh shit. And then I fall.
And now you start falling back down.
Luckily, you're falling into a ball pit to break your fall.
I need you to roll another dexterity saving throw.
Like a cat. Dexterous, like a very large cat.
Who rolled an
Rolled an
8.
8.
And this time you take 11 damage as you splat on the floor.
I said I was going to try and catch him.
I'd let me take the damage if I were you.
Do you say that as you come back down?
I'm like, 4! As I fall back down.
In the grand scheme of things, 19 damage is not a lot for
Oh,
Coen.
actually, I'm getting quite
I'll
low.
be fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's not a lot left of Coen. Coen is kind of spitting up blood as he lies on the floor in this ball pit.
So, how you doing, buddy?
Been better.
It's just a collapsed lung.
Yeah, it's all right. I got another one.
While it did that, the whirlpool thing is Skumk. I need you to roll 1d4.
Oh, for damage? 2d4 still. 7 damage.
With that thing it just did with Coen, it ends up stopping.
Oh.
And the balls all fall away from it. And what you see now, instead of a liquid creature, so the ooze freezes in place and the balls fall back into the pool. Before you stands what appears to be a mockery of a tree made of charred sap. In the center of it, you see a black onyx sphere. Its glow is dimming.
Guys, I think we found the secret of the ooze.
And with that, I run over to grab it.
All right, you grab it, and it feels fragile in your hand. It doesn't feel like it did when you were handed it. Mm-hmm. In your hands, it feels extremely fragile. It does not feel like that solid, heavy sphere that you got from Selvatarm. It feels like brittle glass.
I try and crush it in my hand.
And it cracks easily. And once broken, the lights in the room go out. And before you can even grow accustomed to the dark, you find yourself in what appears to be a small room with some neural type of webbing all around it.
I cast Goodberry.
At the center of this room, you see Selvatarm. His image appears to be projected as you can see through him like a ghost. He looks at you and says, "You're stronger than I expected." did.
And you're more of a pain in the ass than I thought you were going to be.
And you're either brave or stupid.
Probably both.
I expected you to leave them to their fate. And he looks at you, Coen, and he says, and from you, my friend, you'd shown such promise killing that boy. Why didn't you kill them all?
Because he's a decent person.
That is not how I roll. I didn't mean to kill that boy. I'm broken on the inside.
Well,
But I will soldier on, and I will get my revenge now.
I give Coen a good berry.
But now you're my target. And I kind of reach over and grab the good berry of Skumk and kind of chomp on it as I stare daggers at Salvatore.
juice kind of flowing from the corners of your mouth.
Yeah, that's right.
And he bows to you and says, ever your humble servant, I will set you free from here. But I do ask that you pay a small toll. He then conjures 3 images. Like him, they appear to be projected, and you recognize them. They are Belvedere, Miguel, and Courtney. Oh my God. Still staring at Coen, he says, one of them must die, and I will free you from here.
No.
Choose, my friend.
Take me. I refuse to let more innocents die.
I give him another good berry.
He says, that's nice, but choose.
I'm going to do an Arcana check to see if this is like a projection of a real thing or if it's just an illusion.
The room that you're in or Salvatore?
No, Belvedere, Courtney, and Miguel.
They are illusions. However, they're not physically there in front of you.
No, I'm just trying to see if I can figure out.
Is it a scry or is it an illusion?
Yeah, like, is it a hologram of something that's like, for lack of a better word, being videotaped, or is it just something he's making up out of thin air, you know?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll.
23.
You are able to intuit that these are kind of portals almost into what they are doing. You see that Miguel is out in the field along with Courtney. You can tell because you can see the fog and the smoke around them. They're coughing. And Belvedere is napping.
I refuse to choose, and I start smashing the neural webbing of this room, just in case that might help.
You smash the webbing, and you do notice some kind of reaction that causes the floor to shake a bit.
I keep smashing.
Tell us about this room, Stan. What do we see in it?
You notice a network of gears mixed with organic matter, all churning and working together against the walls. And against one particular one, there's a small box on a pole. It's over to your right, which appears to be the focus of all the activity. Additionally, there's a small window. And out that window, you can see that time has resumed. And you can tell that you are looking out of one of the eyes of the Spider Palace. You also feel that he is withholding some information from you. You seem to believe that it might have something to do with everything you've seen.
Guys, Fly is still active from before, so you're gonna hate me.
That
But-
goes without saying.
Stan,
Huh?
I spy this box like across the room,
Uh-huh.
and I fucking Superman style just zoom forward towards that thing, try and grab it, and smash through the window.
All right, I need you to do a strength check because that box is attached to the pole.
Motherfucking bastard!
You fly into it.
All right. Well, you rolled a 3. You actually fly into the box. You hit the box with your head, and you do damage to the box, but you don't manage to fly out the window. You kind of like flip over and hit the wall and land on the floor. But with the box damaged, you notice that the gears are starting to go haywire. Some of them start popping out of the wall. The floor begins to shake more than it was when Coen was striking the neural webbing. And Salvatore looks at you and goes and just says, "Fools!" And he disappears. And now everything starts falling apart around you. You feel that if you don't brace yourselves, well, not Jelly. Jelly's still got fly cast on her. That you're going to fall all the way to the ground.
Is there something to hold on to?
I have an idea. I get out some rope and I toss it to whoever's closest to me. I toss them rope and say, "I need you to hold on." And also, I'm sorry because I feel like this might have been my fault.
Hey, we're all going down together. It's fine. We're We're family.
I mean, the thing's falling over, so I consider it a success.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Stan, one last time, can I try and just tug on this box while I'm headed over to the window?
Yeah, go ahead. Do a strength check. Fuck. You rolled a 6. You hold on to the rope with one hand and you kind of with the box and with no success.
I just shrug.
What is the box made of?
It's made of metal.
Okay. After Jelly lets go of it, I cast heat metal
Okay.
to heat the metal.
The box is now glowing and everything is now falling apart and the floor now falls out from underneath you.
Okay, I try and fly through the window.
You try to fly through the window. However, with Skumk and Coen holding onto the rope, you're unable to keep your height or move very quickly even as you're flying because you're carrying their weight. However, given that you're flying, what you end up working as is kind of a weird parachute.
But that was my plan.
A jelly shoot.
And they slowly fall to the ground, dragging you along with them. Kind of like when you had Coen as a balloon. But now it's you.
As we're floating down, I look down to them and say, again, I feel like I might have had some small part in how this all turned out. And I want to say sorry.
Nah, it's cool. I like it.
And you guys slowly fall to the ground as the spider collapses around you. And you see the flying buttresses fall, slamming into the ground around you. But they manage to miss you. In fact, everything just kind of falls and the debris falls everywhere. But Jelly manages to avoid all of them. And you hit the ground, not as gently as you possibly can. It's more like if you were going down a parachute. You kind of hit the ground, fall to your knees, and Jelly, you don't have to. Once you feel the weight of Coen gone as he hits the ground, you're free to continue flying or just landing on the ground.
As soon as they're safely deposited, I levitate down and touch down softly. I look at the wreckage around the city and this collapsed castle, and I just start laughing to myself. And I'm crying while I'm doing it. And I just I look at Coen and Skumk and I give both of them a hug, still laughing and crying.
As you're on the ground, the fog is gone. You see the town is now in ruins, and you are surrounded by several mangled bodies. However, you do see Miguel standing with Courtney, and they are just in awe seeing you come out alive from that thing. And they just slowly walk towards you. And Courtney says, Are you okay?
I take one of my arms away from Coen and Skumk and I pull her in to the hug.
And I call out to Miguel, group hug.
And Miguel says, I am always good for a group hug. And he runs in and joins.
We're possibly the only survivors. It's great. It's fine.
They say, oh, no. We were able to get some workers to get out of here and get the remaining Timorins and buck hunts. They all went out to Waterdeep.
Oh, thank God.
That's cool, I guess.
After saying that, Courtney kind of pulls back, looks at Coen, and gives him a sly smile and says, care to finish what you started?
I say, what do you mean? I'm a bit slow. Pretend I'm dumb.
It's execution time, baby.
She goes, well, I mean, we know where they're going.
Who are going?
And she looks at you with a kind of annoyance and goes, you know what I'm talking about. And Miguel says, oh, I don't think I like where this is going.
I pronounce my vengeance on Patrick. He has suffered enough. We can continue the fight another day.
You mean you renounce it?
Shame. Then go back to Sarah. Take my carriage. Keep it. I'm going to stay here and help out the wounded.
Well, we could do that.
Before we leave, can we stay here for like 8 hours?
Oh, you want to rest?
Yes, but also I want to cast plant growth, which this version of plant growth takes 8 hours, and everything within a half-mile radius around the town becomes overgrown and
It goes back to its natural state.
will grow very quickly for the next year.
Okay, I like that. You guys decide to stay and help out with the wounded.
Yeah, sure.
Where Skumk stays in the middle of the town, meditating, concentrating on his spell.
This is the most professional and druid-like you've ever seen Skumk. He seems to know what he's doing and stuff, and is actively doing spell magic.
While he's in his trance, I keep just sneakily poking him and trying to get him out. Come on, Skunk. Say something funny.
Well, you're not going to help the wounded, Paladin?
While I'm helping the wounded, in between that, I just kind of duck.
Okay. You just occasionally go to him.
I duck over to Skunk and give him a poke.
The center of the plant growth is the ruins of the palace, and a giant tree grows out of it.
Awesome.
While they're doing that, I look around and see if I can find any word on what happened to Ronaldo.
You look around, you go to the edge of the town, and you see the carriage sitting there, and outside the carriage, you see Ronaldo, and he puts away his Nightbird binoculars and sees you and gives you a big smile, and he says, "Wow!"
Oh, fly on, you beautiful Nightbird. Fly on.
Hi, this is Stan Ferguson.
Yep. Hey, this is Jody Doyle.
Hello, you beautiful babies. It's Hayden.
Hi, everybody. It's Ivan Clark.
Hey, we got to an end of a chapter by the feel of it, guys. How do you feel?
So Jody, tell me, how was...
Is this talking TSMR cast?
Coen went through some very emotional stuff this season.
With what's-his-face, the blonde guy?
Did you pull from any personal
talks
experiences
fast?
to really get that raw emotion?
What's your
It was,
favorite ship?
An emotional journey for Coen this term, and I really had to draw deep on my hurt from, many years of being bullied as a child. And
Follow us on Tumblr at TSMRcast.
Swipe right on Tinder. We're on there, baby. You
That's
just
a
gotta
great segue.
actually, we got some great reviews on iTunes, and I want to give a shout out to the awesome people who reviewed us. Turtlemech17 and Alejandra the Quiet. You guys just made our day by giving us those reviews, as well as also helping us to get more listeners, because every review we get bumps us in the iTunes chart just a little bit. So if you're out there listening and would like to give us a review, we would really, really appreciate it. And Turtlemech17, you're definitely right. Ivan is the best part of this show.
I disagree.
Oh, and listen to my other better podcast.
You have another podcast, Ivan?
Just kidding. It's not better. It's fucking wild. It's called The Color of Friendship. Just listen to it without knowing what it is. You'll die.
Unless you get someone else to watch it within 5
Okay.
days.
Is there anything else?
What about Twitter?
Well, I run the TSMR Twitter page. It's at TSMRcast. Yes, I believe that's what it is. It's mostly just me posting my notes from the show and talking to whichever one of the dames from Dames and Dragons runs their Twitter page.
Join us on our Facebook page for some fun conversation and, hugs and just kisses. An orgy of love.
Yeah, literally.
An orgy of platonic feelings.
Plato was a notorious horn dog, so you know what that means.
Play-Doh, like the stuff that's made out of sort of dough.
Wallpaper
Yeah.
paste.
Yeah. When you're playing with Play-Doh, you can make a dog and add horns to it. So it's great.
Oh, I just make penises.
Yep, that's what I meant.
I hope you all have a wonderful night, and thanks for listening.
Fly on, you beautiful night birds, and thanks for all the spaghetti.
I love you.
Way to not step
you.
on my outro, Ivan. I really appreciate it.
All right, so we are rolling for initiative. And by the way, guys, this is not in the book. This is a wholly unique monster created by me. I hope you like this fight.
It's your balls.
Round of applause.
Stan's ball monster.
Say what?
I call him Scrody.
Scrody Joyle.
That's me.
How often do you go into a ball pit and think that the balls look like scrotums? Because if your scrotum is perfectly
He's just
spherical,
a monster made of
Look,
balls. Come on. Somebody had to make the stupid joke.
In Australia, they're not just plastic balls; they're actual scrotums. Well,
Yeah.
what's that? Wait a
V
minute.
for
What's
Victor.
that?
Or
No,
vocal.
no, what's that thing?
V
All right.
for vor.
Anything without a V, you said? Or a B? V for Vos? Vos? Vor. It's a vor spell.